everyone, here's your favorite host, Happiness Titus, on your favorite Happy Hour Talk Show. And today we'll be talking about elaborate weddings, its impact on society and leadership. And here with me today is an amazing guest speaker, Miss Choma, a young Nigerian who is going through everything everyone is going through in Nigeria. And we want to hear her opinion about this crazy elaborate wedding that I'm sure has been moving about social media. If you're there, I'm sure you've seen it for months now. We've had this big wedding everywhere and everyone is talking about it.
Right.
And alongside, we have the 30 days rant about the plight of Nigerians and the poor leadership we are experiencing. Our topic for today is the economy of elaborate weddings, its impact on society and leadership, and the influence on our leaders and how they respond to the needs of Nigerians. Would love to know your insights on how these elaborate weddings affect society and the influence of leadership looking at these elaborate weddings.
Personally, I think that one problem with Nigerians is that sometimes we tend to overlook the major problem and try to focus on the noise around it, to focus on other things that are not really what we're trying to talk about. I don't think that someone holding an elaborate wedding should in any way affect how a leader responds to the yearning of the people. I'll have my wedding however I decide to have it because it's what I can afford to do. But it doesn't in any way affect your duties or your roles as as a leader. Why am I trying to commute from one place to another and it's a problem because the roads are bad? I'm not even asking you to buy me a lounge cruiser to move around with. I'm just asking you to fix the road. And whether or not I have money or I'm a billionaire, so to say, I'm not going to come and fix the road that everyone uses with my own personal money.
That's
It's
why
still
we
going
let
to be
them.
exactly. It's still going to be the duties of the leaders at the end of the day. So I genuinely don't think that it should affect the way they respond in any way. Judging from what happened with the 30 days rant challenge. So this girl is crying out, Lagos is smelly. Can the government actually do something about it? And you're coming back to post pictures of how she was in a boat cruise and having fun in the same Lagos. Bro, that is not the topic of discourse right now. That's not the pain point. I'm trying to point out the problem. Your job is to fix it, not to tell me how I live my personal life and point out things that I do with money. At the end of the day, your job is your job. Just try and do it.
Okay, so we are saying leadership is leadership. Do the right thing you ought to do,
Right.
while personal lives is personal life. So if I choose to have an elaborate wedding, it's because it's my choice. It has nothing to do with the fact that I have elected a leader to perform their responsibility and ensure that we have our basic social amenities.
Right.
Okay, thank you so much. And then one more question.
Okay.
How do you think the celebrity weddings, elaborate weddings, affect the society, looking at smaller families or let's say families who don't have so much, but looking at the so big weddings and they're like, oh, we want to have something like this. What's your opinion on society and such kind of weddings?
People are always going to look at what they look at. And it's not a problem. It's not a sin to look at something good and want it for yourself. But it becomes a problem when you see something you genuinely know you can't afford it. You don't have the means to afford this type of weddings, but you want to go all out. You want to go borrow money from somebody. You want to go do shady things just because you want to afford a certain kind of wedding. That's when it becomes a problem. And then these people that really do these elaborate weddings, they don't just do it because they just want to show off. Sometimes it's because they have an image to protect. They have a social status, they have a social standard that they have to operate on. And then oftentimes you find that these vendors that even appear at their weddings just do it at their free will. I can tell you for a fact that it's not every vendor that was at Priscilla's wedding that was actually paid in cash. Some of them, they just needed a shout out. Some of them just needed for, their names to be out there. Oh, a celebrity used my brand and all of that. Some of them don't even pay for some of these things. And then people just see it and then you want to empty your bank account because you want to appear a certain way. It doesn't just make sense. Basically, cut your coats according to your clothes, right? You don't have to do things because people are doing it. You don't have to break the bank because you saw something online. You don't have to go and become a thief just to have a wedding. So yes, don't let it bother you too much. Don't let it influence you too much. Do the wedding you can afford. I mean, it's not really the wedding that counts, but the marriage at the end of the day. So yeah.
So this is really insightful for young Nigerians. We know how young people want to have big weddings like Prissy, and when you see it out, you're like, oh, I wish my own wedding is going to be like that. But here's a young Nigerian who is really realistic, and she is saying, do it the best way you can. with what you can afford.
Right.
So yeah, don't get too influenced. Social media is out there. We see a lot of things out there, but it doesn't mean you have to live by them or you will have to do exactly what is out there. So it's like creating a balance here. Yes, it's an elaborate wedding. It's huge. It's the talk of the town. It's everywhere on social media. But it shouldn't stop our government from doing what they ought to do when we cry out.
Very important. Do your job, man.
Yes, and for intended couples, families, you don't have to pressure people to put in so much when they don't have it.
Right.
And you don't have to remind them of their misery that they don't have so much to experience and
I know.
yeah, I think
I
it's not
know.
even really all about the wedding, but it's the marriage, how you live your home, how you get it right.
Right.
And these are the things that matter. Here is a wrap for today. Thank you so much, Ms. Chioma.
Thank you.
It's a brilliant insight from a young Nigerian speaking to us like this about
So
these
nice
things
to be
and
here.
telling us what we need to do, the things we ought to know, no matter what happens out there. Be
Right.
you, do your thing, and be okay. Stay tuned for our next program and don't miss out.